and just be together with your immediate family in the first few days and weeks. So I hope to be able to see the baby sometime soon, but I feel ridiculously happy, actually. So excited for them both. It's a wonderful event. Oh, everybody's absolutely thrilled, as you can imagine. As I say, I feel ridiculously happy for them.
With children, it's always, you've got to be careful not to overdo that. If they witnessed, or sometimes people absorb things by osmosis, they rush about doing every kind of thing.
The British monarchy has long been a stage for grand ceremonies, timeless traditions, and meticulously crafted public images. But beyond the palace gates where the cameras fade and the curtains fall real, raw human emotion lives and breathes. Now, royal insiders are speaking in hushed tones about a moment so deeply personal, so unexpectedly vulnerable, that it sent ripples through the royal family and stunned even the most seasoned observers. A single, whispered confession just for words spoken by Catherine, Princess of Wales, after the birth of her secret fourth child, has shaken the very foundation of the monarchy. What exactly did Catherine say? Why did it strike such a nerve? Within the palace? And how has this mysterious new child rewritten the royal story we thought we knew? Stay with us as we unravel a tale of hidden emotion, maternal courage, and a revelation that could alter the course of royal history. And if you haven't already, subscribe now for more behind-the-scenes stories from inside the monarchy. Catherine beloved. Around the world, as Kate Middleton has always embodied grace under pressure, whether standing beside Prince William during global tours or quietly raising their three children, Prince George, Princess Charlotte, and Prince Louis, she has remained a figure of calm and quiet strength. But the arrival of their fourth child, kept entirely hidden from public view for months, brought with it a moment unlike any before. This wasn't just another royal birth, it was a test of Catherine's inner resilience. And for perhaps the first time, the world has glimpsed not the princess, but the mother behind the crown, a woman navigating joy, fear, and exhaustion in equal measure. The bond between Catherine and her children has never been in doubt. From school runs in casual clothes to tender public interactions, her parenting style is hands-on, heartfelt, and deeply personal. But the birth of this new baby added an unexpected layer, one that led to a quiet, heart-wrenching confession that royal insiders say may have forever altered how the public sees her and how the monarchy sees itself. The story begins in the hush of early 2025, when faint whispers began circulating among palace staff. Rumors of another pregnancy were met with tight lips and nervous glances. Unlike her previous pregnancies, which were formally announced with press releases and public excitement, this one was cloaked in complete secrecy. Kensington Palace remained silent, and the press, normally quick to speculate, was left in the dark. According to those closest to the family, Catherine and William made a conscious decision to keep this chapter private. The growing pressures of royal life, combined with years of relentless media scrutiny, had taken their toll. Privacy was no longer a luxury, it was a necessity. The birth is believed to have taken place quietly in a private wing of St. Mary's Hospital in London, attended only by Prince William and a hand-picked team of trusted medical professionals. The child, whose name, gender, and exact birth date remain undisclosed, was born healthy. But what followed was anything but ordinary. What made this moment seismic wasn't the secrecy. It was Catherine's emotional responsiveness, unfiltered and deeply human. Shortly after the birth, as she cradled her newborn in the soft glow of a quiet hospital room, Catherine turned to William and whispered something that would later send shockwaves through the royal establishment. "I can't do this alone." Those 4 words, fragile, raw, and spoken with trembling honesty, were never intended for public ears. They weren't a declaration of defeat, but a plea for understanding. A moment of vulnerability from a woman who had carried the weight of a kingdom on her shoulders for over a decade, all while nurturing a family under the world's gaze. Insiders say it wasn't about the baby. It was about what this child symbolized: a deepening of responsibility, a widening of the gap between public duty and private life, a future in which the monarchy's demands might finally become too much, even for someone as poised and steadfast as Catherine. When that private moment leaked, shared, reportedly, by a trusted aide, overcome with concern, it ignited a firestorm across media outlets and within royal circles. The monarchy, always polished and prepared, had been caught off guard by something rare: truth. By mid-2025, headlines blazed with one unrelenting message: the monarchy was at a crossroads. Some outlets framed Catherine's whispered words as the beginning of a royal retreat, a signal that the Princess of Wales, long admired for her composure, was on the verge of stepping back from royal life. Others interpreted it as a cry for change, a stark admission that the modern monarchy, relentlessly public, rigidly structured, had become unsustainable. The public was stunned, not just by the revelation of a secret royal baby, but by the unthinkable idea that Catherine, a very embodiment of poise and resilience, could feel overwhelmed. Social media erupted with an outpouring of compassion. The hashtag #StandWithKate began trending across platforms, capturing a wave of empathy from around the world. This wasn't just royal gossip, it was something far more intimate. It was a mother's quiet vulnerability exposed, and a nation's response that roared with support. But the deepest impact wasn't seen online, it was felt behind palace walls. Within the House of Windsor, Catherine's forward confession prompted something rare, a moment of reckoning. A pause to consider what the monarchy must become in order to serve Bonde, whom it must protect in the process. To understand why this moment hits so hard, we must step back and consider the arc of Catherine's royal journey. Since marrying Prince William in 2011, she has been a transformative force within the institution. Through her tireless work in early childhood development, mental health awareness, and her grounded, approachable demeanor, she has helped modernize the monarchy's public image. She's been seen comforting children, championing vulnerable families, and even adjusting Princess Charlotte's hair at Wimbledon, simple acts that made her feel real, human. Yet the arrival of a fourth child came at a time of immense strain. For the royal family, King Charles III was quietly battling health concerns. Prince Harry remained estranged. The debate around a slimmed-down monarchy loomed large. All of this placed unprecedented pressure on William and Catherine, already tasked with carrying the crown's image into the next generation. In this context, the birth of another child wasn't just a family milestone. It was a defining statement about the future of the royal line. The secrecy surrounding the birth only deepened the intrigue. Some royal insiders believe the couple made the decision to withhold the news to protect the child from the media circus that had enveloped their older children. Others suggest it was a strategic move, an attempt to seize control of a narrative that had so often been wrested from them. Regardless of the motive, the absence of an official announcement marked a dramatic break from royal tradition and, perhaps, a turning point in how William and Catherine intend to navigate their roles. Then came the confession, "I can't do this alone," for words that peeled back the layers of royal expectation and exposed the raw, human heart beating beneath the tiara. This wasn't Catherine the princess. This was Catherine the mother, the woman, the partner, exhausted, honest, and brave enough to speak her truth. And for millions of parents around the world, that truth was profoundly relatable. What makes this moment so powerful is what it reveals about Catherine's evolution. In the early years of her royal life, she was praised for her out just hours after giving birth to Prince George in 2013, heels on, smile fixed. But in the years since, she has chosen authenticity over perfection, gradually reshaping her public image to prioritize mental health, emotional honesty, and family well-being. Through initiatives like Heads Together, she has championed the idea that vulnerability is not weakness, but courage. Her whispered plea was not a moment of collapse, it was an act of strength. A line in the sand. A reminder that even royals bleed, bend, and reach their breaking point. The ripple effects were immediate. Inside the palace, conversations began to shift. Talk of restructuring royal duties intensified. William, already an advocate for modernization, reportedly began pushing for a more flexible model of monarchy that could adapt to the realities of raising a family under constant scrutiny. Insiders say the couple has begun exploring options to delegate more responsibilities to extended family members. Names like Princess Beatrice and Princess Eugenie have surfaced in quiet meetings. If implemented, this shift wouldn't just support Catherine, it could redefine the very structure of the royal firm itself. The monarchy, long defined by its rigid hierarchy and unyielding traditions, now stands at the edge of transformation. Catherine's quiet confessions, so deeply personal, has become a spark for institutional change. No longer is the royal family seen as an impenetrable fortress of stoicism. Instead, a more collaborative, family-centered structure is beginning to emerge, one that dares to place emotional well-being alongside duty. Her words challenged a centuries-old idea that royals must suffer in silence, their struggles hidden behind palace walls. The public reaction has been just as profound. Unlike past royal scandals that fractured public opinion, Catherine's vulnerability united people across backgrounds. Parents in particular flooded social media with their own stories of exhaustion and quiet pleas for help. On X, formerly Twitter, the hashtag #StandWithKate continued to trend, amplifying voices that saw not a princess, but a mother navigating the same challenges they knew too well. "She's just like us. A mom first, and that's what matters." Read one viral post. This groundswell of empathy did more than express support, it cemented Catherine's place in the public's heart. She became a rare figure, one who gracefully bridges the world of tradition with the modern realities of parenting, identity, and emotional truth. But it also sparked larger questions. Does this new vulnerability make the monarchy more relatable? Or has it exposed an outdated system buckling under its own weight? Behind the scenes, Catherine's parenting philosophy has been her anchor through this seismic shift. She has always prioritized her children's emotional health, determined to raise them not just as royals, but as grounded, self-aware individuals. With the birth of her fourth child, she's doubled down on this commitment. According to palace sources, she spent weeks in seclusion following the birth, shielded from royal obligations to focus solely on bonding and adjusting to their new family dynamic. William has remained steadfastly by her side, stepping back from engagements to offer full support. Their united front reflects a shared vision, a monarchy that values family over formality, presence over protocol, even if that means challenging centuries of precedent. Though still a mystery to the public, this new child is already reshaping the royal narrative. Unlike the births of George, Charlotte, and Louis marked by global media spectacles and coordinated photo calls, this child represents a quiet revolution, a statement that privacy matters, that choice matters, and perhaps that a royal title need not dictate a future. There are whispers inside the palace that Catherine and William are considering raising their youngest outside the traditional royal framework. Whether this means fewer public appearances, alternative schooling, or even stepping away from formal duties altogether remains unclear. But the intention is unmistakable: to offer their children options, to let them discover who they are before the crown decides for them. It's a radical departure from the royal playbook of the past, where bloodlines were destiny and roles were carved in stone from birth. But Catherine and William are quietly redrawing that map, guided not by obligation, but by love. Catherine's influence as a mother has always been evident in the small, telling moments: fixing Charlotte's ponytail on the sidelines, whispering encouragement to Louis during loud public events. These gentle gestures have become her hallmark, parenting that is intuitive, patient, and emotionally attuned. But it is her willingness to admit she needs help, those for simple words, that marks her most powerful act of leadership yet. In a monarchy built on image and endurance, her honesty stands as a beacon. It tells us that strength can coexist with vulnerability, that asking for support is not a failure, but a form of grace. As the dust settles, one thing is clear: the monarchy is standing at a crossroads. Catherine's quiet revelation has stirred more than public sympathy, has triggered a deeper reckoning. How much weight can one family carry? How much can be asked of those born into roles they never chose? Her courage has made her more beloved than ever, but it has also exposed the fractures within an institution that must evolve or risk fading into irrelevance. For now, Catherine and William remain focused on what matters most. Together, they are raising their 4 children with love, intention, and a quiet, steady defiance of outdated expectations. And in doing so, they are not just redefining parenthood, they may very well be reshaping the future of the crown itself.